Hey there, everybody, this is Tyler Guy. Today I'm going to be talking with actually my wife. I made it a little bit easier on myself since this is the first video to actually talk with Brooke Guy, who is the general manager and dealer principal over at Coastal Chevrolet, Cadillac, and Nissan. We're going to get some good information on the dealership, its history, and then what she does around there, and her history of how she took it over and is currently running the show. So like I said, this is the first video of the series that I'm going to be doing, just outlining and showing local business owners or business professionals, just in whatever industry that is. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. We're going to jump right into the interview once we get over to Coastal.
Obviously born and raised, but before that my granddad moved from Charlotte, North Carolina, and he had the opportunity to open up a Datsun store. So not sure if you guys know what that is, but it's the old Nissan brand. They revamped it and whatnot, so that's a whole other story. But anyways, that's how we ended up here, from Charlotte. So I grew up here, went to school here, everything. Went to USC for college, and honestly, I was very much against doing this because for whatever reason, I just think that if someone's doing something, then I should be different. So I wanted to be different from my dad.
I've never seen that before.
So I like to forge my own path, which is just so funny, just pride. But anyways, so I moved home, and this was 2015. I had all my friends were not here, just started from scratch, living at home. And my dad was like, yeah, why don't you just come work at the dealership? You'll figure it out. Maybe, you won't be here long, or, might move to Charlotte or whatever. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I came on, started selling.
Didn't have any other intentions as your dad to get you to work at the dealership, right?
That was,
Right.
Dad's dream still to this day would be for all of our family members to work here. So, yeah. So yeah, I knew he was planting the seed. I was, not stupid, but I also was very much adamant that I wasn't going to do this, because when I first started, I actually hated selling. I hated talking to people because growing up, I was very shy.
Which is crazy to even think about.
Yeah.
You're shy.
Well, yeah. I'm a natural introvert, so I just kind of leaned into that a lot of my life, and then college helped me break out of that a little bit. But it was really the car business that really, really broke me out, because as much as I hated sales, I still knew I had a duty to perform. I had to sell cars. I had a name to uphold. I couldn't be a crappy salesperson. And back then, our training was crap, and my cousin and I were way slack. I mean, it was really bad. But again, we didn't really have anything kind of holding the standard, so to say. Ben was our leader. He was a great leader and still is. But even he didn't have the training that we have now. So, we're very much, all of us were new to the car business. So fast forward, I sold for 9-10 months. And then I was like, oh, well, I have a grand idea. I'm just gonna, use my degree in marketing and open up our own marketing department. So we had never had an internal marketing department, and all these other companies we used previously were we were just wasting money. And so I was like, okay, let's do this, do digital, all that. So I did that, and then I just got bored. Extremely bored, because...
Did it help at all with the dealership, having a marketing department?
Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah. Because for a long time we really switched away from traditional media, which is TV, radio, all that, print ads, and we decided to go digital, but I don't think we really had an idea what that was. It was still very new. We didn't even have a Google AdWords page until I got it started. But then I got kind of I just think it was really just God being you can do more. Your family has this business, you can do so much more. I didn't know at the time, and Ben was actually the one who had a conversation with me just about just the opportunity that was there. He's like, do you really want to just do this with your, at some point you're going to grow up, you're going to be in the family business. And I was like, okay. So he convinced me to do F&I, finance and insurance, for non-car lingo people. And
there's a lot of car lingo.
Yeah, we could do a whole quiz on car lingo. But F&I was like the proving ground for me as far as really,
Gonna make it.
yeah, if I was going to make it, go in F&I, and it was freaking hard. Like, I went through a really, really hard season of growth of just, like, probably at that point in my life was like actual like rock bottom, because I did good, and then, like, as time went on, I just got worse in my performance, to the point where like our freaking warranty provider like had to come talk to me and just be like, basically your numbers aren't cutting it, which is like the worst thing that can possibly, like, yeah, it was horrible. I remember crying. Like, I was still very like sensitive and just whatever, perfectionist mentality, which was exactly what was like holding me back, was that. And I talked to some therapists, and for the first time in my life was like, okay, at this point I can choose to have this perfectionist mindset where I think everything I need to do has to be perfect, or I'm going to find another way, and I think taking that information and actually applying it was the turning point for me, because if I didn't turn from there, I probably would have, honestly, like, my family is not above firing a family member. They'll do it if you're not performing, which is what I so much respect about my dad, is that we had to earn it, and we might have progressed a little quicker than most people in this career, but like, we had to prove ourselves. So, which I appreciate now, because it's like, now I know how to handle hard situations and work hard and all those things. But yeah, so that time in my life, I was like, all right, Brooke, are you going to figure it out, or are you going to quit? And I'm not a quitter. So I figured it out. Yep. Figured it out. And by the time I was like ready to come out of that office, I ran like the highest. At that time, it's been way broken now, thanks to my cousin Brandon. But at that time, it was like the highest number that had ever been done, like, essentially, I believe. And, I left it with the bank. So, like, I got to leave that office in a good light. Like, finance, again, is just so difficult, because you're in that office all day, and you're not really, like, getting to work with salespeople as much directly, or customers as much directly. And really, like, making not that you can't make an impact in finance, but like, your responsibility levels are a lot more on the desk. Yeah. And so that's what we call the sales manager role, is the desk. Anyways.
More terminology.
So I did that for 2 years. It was so much fun. Huge growing opportunity for me, because I never really had like led people yet. Like, I kind of did as a director, but it was only 2 people, and they were managers. So this was like 4 to 5 salespeople who all have different personalities, and you're trying to find ways to motivate them and inspire and help them achieve the store's goals and their own goals, which is hard, because like, you don't want to be that person who's like all woo-woo, but you want to actually give them like real stuff to achieve and work towards. And it was definitely challenging, but probably my favorite job. And then January of last year, which would be 2022, I am now the general manager. And basically, I oversee the whole store, so sales, service, parts, just everything that goes on in the store for both stores, which we haven't had one of those. Like, my dad was basically doing that job for the last however many years. So now I'm doing that, which has been a huge learning curve. And there's not really a guidebook or a playbook on those kind of things. I mean, like, we have a lot of access to other people in the car world, but every dealership's run differently, so it's like our size store, and the fact that we have 2 stores right next to each other, but they're very different brands, it's quite a bit, but it's really fun. It's very rewarding.
Yeah.
So
something we always talk about, and this is, even just being around her anytime, you'll notice that she's always talking about growth and training and just getting better. And you said that you and Brandon both, so that's Brandon's her cousin, you both were like, not training at all. You were just like,
living
the motions.
Yeah.
So when did the training change, and when did the growth happen for you? When did that really escalate into how you are now as a person?
So it was really Brandon. Like, I told him this not too long ago, but so Brandon heard about Grant Cardone, which I don't know if, y'all know who Grant Cardone is. Look him up. He's crazy, ridiculous, and awesome, and huge, and you might not like him, but he's very smart, and he's kind of in your face. But Brandon went to a training of his, because Brandon was like in a time where he was just like, very rock bottom, and he was like, I'm just going to go to this training. So anyways, he brought it back. And of course, we're like super close. So whatever Brandon was doing, I was like, sure, like, why not, you know? And that's really where it started, was with that. And we got Ben on board, and we're kind of like the little triangle, because that's who we bounce around ideas with and, you know, get growth ideas and inspiration and stuff. And it kind of just started there, and it progressed to, you know, realizing that we had so much more to offer to the store, to ourselves, to the world. And so that just kind of sparked it. And then we like redid our whole core values and our mission statement as a dealership, and really was like, you know, we are a company about growth. And it was just a journey, you know, like it's uncomfortable at first, because you're just like, you've never heard this information before, but you're like, wow, okay, it makes sense. Like I can apply myself and do this and do that and like actually see results. And that's essentially like, we like tied that back to my grandfather. Is he in the shot? Okay, so he's right back here. It's my granddad. And yep. And yeah, like he was about growth, because if he wasn't, he would have never like taken his used car lot from Charlotte to try to get a franchise here. So it's like kind of like who he was.
He went from Charlotte to Georgetown to another place in Georgetown? Or
yeah, like across the street.
Yeah, so 2 places there, then he finally your dad made the decision to come up here.
Yeah, because my granddad had passed by then. So yeah, we came up here after he passed, and I was just like really like in elementary school.
Yeah.
Yep.
So how long have you guys been at this exact location?
All I know is it's since I was in the 6th grade. Yep.
Cool. So where are you at in Polly's? How do you get here?
So if y'all know, we're the last dealership on the right, Polly's, if you're going down to Georgetown, across from Polly's Plantation. If you don't know where that is, the light where the Lowe's Foods is, where the car wash is, that's our car wash as well. So you just go straight through that light, and, you know, eventually you'll hit us on the right. So, you know, southmost dealership, but in my opinion, the best, most fun, and best people.
Best. So what makes you guys the best? You always talk about how you guys differentiate yourself from, you know, other businesses and other dealerships in the area and around the country. So what is it that makes you guys different?
Well, one of them being the growth thing. So like we have our 6 core values of growth, service, accountability, professionalism, positivity, and integrity. That's the other one. Yep, that's one of the most important. Anyways, so those things are really important, because a lot of dealerships, number one, they don't have like a mission statement, which ours is to give you the best experience you're ever going to have at a car dealership. And that applies to our customers or staff, anybody who comes in contact with us. And because we just understand that like buying a car is not the most fun thing. And we are trying to, you know, kind of break through that negative stigma that the car business has. And I think we do a really good job of it. Now, we're not perfect, and like, just like anyone, but I do believe that we genuinely try to deliver the best experience you're going to have at a dealership through the way that we train, the way that we take care of people, the way that we service people, you know, the staff that we hire, because we don't hire people that we feel are like shady people that, you know, don't embody those core values. And we hire anyone who comes on board, we make sure that they align with that, because we can train you, but we can't train accountability, integrity, like your attitude, like those things aren't trainable. Yeah. And I think that's what sets us apart, is like when you walk, like I've had even vendors of us or customers saying, oh, wow, when I walk in here, it's different. It just feels different, you know? It being passed down from my granddad and learning from my dad, we always do the right thing, you know? And that can be defined very differently for certain people, but like doing the right thing to me is just, if someone's in a situation where it's like, can we help within reason? You know, we're absolutely going to do that, whether that's that person buying the car, or they have something happen to the car, or things like that, you know, that are out of our control sometimes. It just is what it is. But, you know, a lot of things that I have to ask myself is like, hey, what would my granddad do? Like, you know, that's what my dad would always teach me, is like, well, my dad would do this. He would like do this to take care of the customer. And so where a lot of dealerships just don't care. They just treat you as a number, and you know, we just don't do that. We understand our customers are everything to us.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that, like, in real estate and in the car business is public perception of agents and of salespeople is just, it's so negative, especially in the car business. Like, that's the one thing everyone, like, you know, is so scared of, going to a car dealership and, you know, salespeople walk up to you and talk to you, but it's, I mean, really, it comes down to relationships and, you know, building those positive relationships with your customers and your clients. And I think that's the main thing that separates you guys. You know, really try to get personal, and that's why I have so much repeat business and such a good service department, and yeah, that's why people come here.
Yeah, and that's why we've been in business. Like I always tell people, you know, we wouldn't be in business for 43 years if we didn't take care of customers, because the reputation is a thing. You know, if you were really, really treating people poorly, like people are going to talk, you know. And yes, like I said, sometimes things happen and people might perceive things a certain way, and you know, that is what it is. But at the same time, most of the time people, you know, coming in here have an excellent experience and they're going to tell people about it, and that's how we have continued to stay in business, is because, you know, word of mouth. Yeah, that's why we don't, like I said, we don't do this traditional media. We just rely on digital media and customers that we've serviced well to just speak for us. So,
another part of this that I want to talk about is just the community. So that's one of the main reasons I want to do these videos, is just to expose more people to the community around here in Polly's up to, you know, Myrtle Beach, around there. So, what are some businesses, things you like to do around Polly's or up in Myrtle Beach? Some places that you frequent. Obviously, I know these things already because I live with her. But how about you tell everyone?
things that I do personally?
Yeah, just in general, like what do you do?
Well, us as a company, we work with, or like really, I guess you could say sponsor or partner with a few people. So like Teach My People is something that's really near to us because we actually have a technician program with them, and essentially like helping kids not from great backgrounds find a career path.
Yeah.
And just because automotive is such a great industry, because you don't have to have a degree, like you get training on site, it's just a great industry. And so we partner with them. We partner with Helping Hands in Georgetown. It's kind of like the same thing. And, those are like top two as far as people we like to work with directly. Me personally, I love going to CrossFit, as you know. I got you in there. So how's it going?
I drank the Kool-Aid.
So Hammock Coast CrossFit in Pawleys Island, great place to be. Great owners. They just really care about, providing a great experience as far as working out, and it's fun. It's so much fun. Like you might die a little bit, but like you might as well, if you're going to work out, you might as well do it to the fullest.
You might as well kill yourself.
Yeah. So I frequent there. Brown Fox I go to every single day. They're in Murrells Inlet. Brown Fox Coffee literally every day except for Mondays when they're closed. There might be a few days here in the winter where I won't go because I will try to make my own coffee at home. But they're amazing if you've never had their coffee. Oh, Mine Zero, we go to like once a week, or at least try to, in Surfside. They're great. They're cold plunge hot sauna place that honestly, every time I go, I sleep like a freaking baby. Like, I sleep so good.
Yeah, if you do it at night, it's like the best thing in the world. You'll just literally hit the pillow and just go out, dude. You won't wake up for me, like 12 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the last one, because I don't want to like drag it on out, but the church we go to, Calvary Chapel, Myrtle Beach, we go every Sunday. They're just awesome. Yep. Great community and church and pastor and just teaching. It's just, when you find a good church, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's great. All right. I'm gonna wrap this up pretty soon. So a couple more questions. Do you guys have any positions here? Are you hiring? And if so, what for? And how do they apply?
So, great question. Yes, we're always hiring because we're always looking for great people, which are unfortunately harder and harder to find, but they're out there. So we are looking for a new position we call sales coordinators, which is basically like a stair-steps position to eventually become a salesperson. You don't have to become a salesperson, but essentially you're learning product knowledge. You might be doing like videos to customers, might be like responding to customers via online, things like that. It's just kind of like introducing you to like what sales could be, not commission or anything. It's hourly plus a little like commission. So not as like stressful as being on 100% commission. We're always looking for great technicians. So we have a lot of great ones, but as we're growing, we're going to need more. So we're doing a lot of in-house development, but we can always use more technicians. And we need another position is, I think I said sales coordinators, but I meant to say product specialists earlier. But sales coordinators, which is like fully devoted to responding to our internet leads and things like that, which we're kind of like combining those. So really it's kind of the same position. And I think that's it right now. But honestly, like as we grow, coastalsaves.com/ I think it's /careers, or if you just go to coastalsaves.com, we do have a tab about careers, and then it'll take you to all of our open job listings. We're growing, so we're always going to need people, you know?
Okay. And my last question, the best question. What is your favorite conspiracy?
Oh my gosh, you're not asking me this. Are you going to ask this to all your interviewees? I would have to say my favorite conspiracy. I don't want to say something where I look like a cuckoo, but I would just say like landing on the moon, you know? Did we do it? Did we not? I don't know. Who was the guy filming the guy that left the Neil Armstrong? Who was that guy? Was he really the first person to land on the moon?
Look into it.
Because if we did land on the moon, then it's definitely not Neil Armstrong. So there's a lie somewhere there.
There's a
and then
lie.
who did they leave behind on the moon? Is he still there? Like, are his bones
Could
just
be.
on the moon?
I don't know.
I encourage y'all to look at the video. It's very interesting. So, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Brooke. Is there any social plugs that you want to put in there, or?
Yeah, follow us on Instagram. We have Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Coastal Saves, typically, like Coastal Nissan, Coastal Chevrolet Cadillac. We usually have 2 pages because of brand standards with the manufacturers. But yeah, we have Coastal Saves as our Instagram handle, probably the same thing for TikTok, and then our Facebook pages. And follow me too. I post every day, just stuff going on here, personal stuff, whatever, and just trying to really talk about our business more, because I think more people, I just truly believe the more people I can help, the more that people will have a better car buying experience overall, because I just do truly believe we have the best experience, it just is different here. And I want more and more people to have it so their friends can know about it, their family can know about it, and nobody has to, basically have, oh my gosh, I have to go buy a car. I want it to be like, wow, we get to go buy a car. I can't wait to work with so-and-so at Coastal. Like, they're the best. Like, that's what I want people to associate with car buying now.
Yep.
So,
Love it. Well, again, that's Brooke. That's my wife. I'm Tyler. I'm a local real estate agent from Polly's up to Calabash. I got my North Carolina license too. I work over at the Litchfield Company, and I'm also doing some real estate photography now. So a little bit all things real estate related, but yeah, you can reach me on my phone, 843-685-3138. But yeah, that's it.